A narcissistic injury refers to any perceived or real threat to a narcissist's self-esteem, self-worth, or grandiose self-image. Now, understand that when we are talking about pathological narcissists are egomaniacs. They are based in their ego, and understand that the ego is the false self. This is the mask that they wear to deceive others. So when we're talking about a narcissistic injury, this injury occurs when something challenges or contradicts the narcissist's inflated sense of superiority, specialness, or entitlement. Narcissists typically have fragile egos and are highly sensitive to criticism, rejection, or any form of perceived disrespect. When confronted with a narcissistic injury, a narcissist may react with intense emotional distress, anger, or humiliation. They may become defensive, aggressive, or manipulative in an attempt to regain a sense of control or restore their damaged ego. Common triggers for narcissistic injuries include: number 1, criticism. Any form of criticism, even constructive feedback, can be perceived as a personal attack on the narcissist's sense of self. They may respond defensively, dismissively, or with rage to protect their fragile self-esteem. Number 2, rejection. Being rejected, ignored, or abandoned by others can be deeply threatening to a narcissist's ego. They may feel deeply wounded and may seek revenge or validation to soothe their hurt feelings. Number 3, failure. Failing to meet their own unrealistic expectations or experiencing setbacks can be devastating to a narcissist's self-image. They may become highly reactive, blaming others or making excuses to avoid facing their own shortcomings. Number 4, loss of control. Narcissists thrive on maintaining power and control over others and their environment. Any situation where they feel powerless or vulnerable can trigger feelings of insecurity and inferiority, leading to a narcissistic injury. Number 5, exposure of flaws or vulnerability. Narcissists go to great lengths to hide their weaknesses, insecurities, or imperfections. When these vulnerabilities are exposed or acknowledged by others, it can shatter their carefully constructed facade of perfection, leading to feelings of shame or inadequacy. And number 6, comparison to others. When they perceive others as being more successful, attractive, or accomplished, it can trigger feelings of envy, resentment, or inferiority. In response to a narcissistic injury, a narcissist may employ various defense mechanisms to protect their fragile ego. These include denial, projection, gaslighting, or even rage. They may also engage in manipulative tactics to regain a sense of power or superiority over others. Ultimately, narcissistic injuries reflect the narcissist's deep-seated insecurities and their inability to tolerate any form of perceived criticism or rejection. Understand that at the core of narcissistic personality disorder is that these individuals are based in shame and they're unable to move past their pride. Hence, you're dealing with someone with pathologically low self-esteem. Self-esteem so low that they would have to look up to see it. So it is little to non-existent. And narcissists started to abandon their true selves, their true spirits in childhood. Instead, they have identified with the ego. They have identified with this mind-made construct. They have identified with the masks that they wear, so they do not want to take this mask off. And this is why when you question them or you see their mask slip, they drag this mask even tighter onto their face because they believe that they are the ego. They believe that they are the mask. Now understand that the ego is a mind-made construct. It is the figment of a child's imagination now existing inside of an adult's body. We are not the ego. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. We are spirit governing a physical body with access to tools or faculties, namely our mind power, our willpower, and our emotions. However, when we are talking about pathological narcissists believe that they are the ego. And if someone believes that they are the ego, then they believe that they are the mind. And if someone believes that they are the mind, hence they are losing their minds. So pathological narcissism is a type of psycho-spiritual arrested development. These individuals are losing their minds. Pathological narcissists have a couple of screws loose. They're also losing control of their emotions because they're based in shame and they're unable to move past their pride. And when it comes to their will, they have an underdeveloped will, which makes them very impulsive and compulsive. But at the core, it is the self-abandonment. It is the abandonment of spirit. So you're dealing with a captain that is not really operating their ship. The captain is overboard. The driver is in the back seat. Pathological narcissists believe that they are their ego. They believe that they are the masks that they wear. Jim Carrey, that plays Stanley Ipkiss in The Mask, believes that he is the green mask. And because pathological narcissists are, again, based in their ego, they are ego maniacs. And the ego needs to be satiated from the outside. This is why you have to boost their ego. Because again, at their core, they abandon their true selves. Hence, they have pathologically low self-esteem. The ego cannot boost itself. The ego is not able to generate its own energy. And this is why a pathological narcissist needs so many different sources of supply, because they abandon source. They abandon their source of supply. Hence, they have to feed from the outside. So in narcissistic injury is when a pathological narcissist perceives a threat, whether real or imagined, so they could make this up in their mind. Again, that goes against their grandiose false self. That goes against the ego. So they do not want to have an ego death. They believe that they are the ego. They believe that they are the figment of their imagination. You are dealing with someone with a mental illness, with emotional arrested development, with severe psychological problems, someone with a personality disorder, because the entire personality is disordered. So do not try to rationalize the pathological narcissist behavior because they exist below the level of rational thinking. You get to the level of rational thinking in the fourth dimension or higher, and pathological narcissists are unable to move past the third dimension. Again, they are based in shame and they're unable to move past their dysfunctional pride. And dysfunctional pride comes right before the fall, so they fall right back down to shame. And this is the psycho-spiritual disorder of pathological narcissism. Narcissistic personality disorder, which also overlaps with antisocial personality disorder, that which you may commonly call sociopathy or psychopathy. So you are dealing with underdeveloped souls. You are dealing with lost souls. You are dealing with someone with a personality disorder. And again, at the core of this is that these individuals started to dissociate because they abandoned their true selves, their true source, the true guiding light in childhood. Hence, you're dealing with dark souls. You're dealing with lost souls that are drifting deeper and deeper and deeper into the sunken place, deeper and deeper and deeper into darkness. And it is important that you do not follow pathological narcissists into the dimension where they exist, because you are here to ascend when they are descending. You are here to progress while they are regressing. You are here to evolve while they are devolving. You will see where pathological narcissist people age like milk. They are curdling, while you should be aging like wine. You should be getting better with time, but pathological narcissists are not able to get better because they won't let go of their ego. And because they won't let go of their ego, then they won't spiritually awaken. So understand that you're dealing with someone that is very thin-skinned because they're based in their ego. And the ego cannot self-reflect because it is a false self. You need a true self to self-reflect. And again, pathological narcissists abandon this true self in childhood. So what they will do instead is they will project, because the ego will project all of the deep-seated insecurities that the pathological narcissists have. Pathological narcissist people are wired backwards. And this is why up is down for them and left is right. And nothing can ever be right because they are not their true selves. This entire personality is based on a facade. It is based on a lie. It is based on a pretense, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. But pathological narcissists are ego beings with an abandoned spirit walking around here on planet Earth. And that really is the quick message for today, kind folks. Ensure that you're liking these videos. Ensure that you are subscribed for more educative and empowering content. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave that in the comment section. Sheik is the name. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.